Hi everybody, welcome back to Smell What's Cooking. Today we're going to be making a leek and potato soup. A nice, creamy, warming soup, perfect for an autumn day. Nice and super easy. Check it out. So I have some leeks left over from making my risotto, because leeks, you almost always get them in a bunch. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to make soup. So I got one ginormous guy here, and then half of one here. Now, when you're using it for risotto on a leek, a lot of people say that the usable part of the leek is up to maybe about there. But I'm going to use, for soup making purposes, all this has got good flavor in it. And we're going to puree the living crap out of it, so I'm going to take all the way up to here and just lop off the undesirable looking parts of the leaf that are a little bit wilted. And then we're going to clean it. As I mentioned earlier, leeks grow in extremely sandy soil. So you have to get them all the way clean, or else you're going to be very upset and you're going to have some upset guests. So I split them. I'm just going to slice them up. Now you can be a little coarser with your chop here because we're going to puree them, and they're going to be soup. And you can take it all the way down to the root end. This is really where a lot of the good flavor is. Well, you don't actually put the roots in, of course. And I'm going to put them in a pot of cold water here. And toss them around. And that's going to let the sand get to the bottom. Now, leek and potato soup, very, very classic dish, often thought of as a French dish. It's made in the summer when you had the hot summers there in France. They wanted a soup they could serve cold, so they made leek and potato soup like we're making now, and they creamed it up with heavy cream and served it cold, pureed, and it's known then as Vichyssoise. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but that's how it goes. Alright. Get them to rinse. Now, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, you can see right here on my board, you can see some of the sand that came right out of that, and that's all through the leeks. So you got to give them a really good rinse. So I'm going to do it and change the water once. And then go through them again. Now for potatoes, you can use pretty much any old potato you got. The only potato I really don't like for making soup is a red potato. I just don't think they really work too well. So I got some white potatoes and a couple russets from a previous batch, and we're going to get them chopped up. So I have my leeks here, and all the sand's going to settle to the bottom. I have 3 tablespoons of butter working here in my Dutch oven, and I'm just going to toss these leeks in. You know, you don't worry about drying them out because they're going to get wet again anyway. We're making soup. Alright, we're going to let them start to saute. We just want to get them softened and get them sweating and get them happy. And get them started with some salt. Just to help to get them breaking down there. And with the potatoes, once again, you don't really have to go crazy chopping them up. Just get them chunked up. I've washed them. I'm going to leave the skins on. If you want to peel them, you could. I'm going to cook the soup for about 30-45 minutes, so any size piece of potato that will cook in that amount of time is okay in my book. I think sometimes we get a little bit too caught up in everything has to be perfect and everything has to be uniform. And to my OCD brothers out there, I get it. But doesn't make the food taste any different. At least not in a dish like this. Now if we're making a chowder and I'd have everything about the same size, that would be a deal. So drop a comment. What's your favorite soup for the winter? I'd love to hear from you. Hey, I'll make it up. Send you some swag. If I have swag. Okay, so we got our potatoes. This will be a good soup that will keep for a long time. For a little more salt in there, I probably got about a tablespoon all told right now. It's gonna need more than that. This is an awfully big thing. So what I have here now, I'm gonna add some herbs to it, and I'm gonna add bay leaves. Now I'm gonna use for that one of these deals. You can buy them. They're known as a spice infuser or a tea-ball. Basically, it's just got a whole bunch of little holes in it. So this way, I don't have to go fishing for my bay leaves later. So I'm going to take my bay leaves. I'm going to put like 5 in there. And I'm going to put, say, a couple dozen black peppercorns in there. And for me, I like a little bit of spice in the back end. I'm going to put a little bit of crushed red pepper in there. Now, just a little bit. Now, the reason why I'm going to put it in the infuser is this is not the soup where I want somebody to bite into a crushed red. That would be unpleasant. So you just kind of clunk this together and you drop it in, and that'll be with your soup. Turns into some other spices. I'm going to add some celery salt, about a teaspoon of that. Add some thyme leaves, about a teaspoon of that. And a spice I think lives and breathes potato, paprika. About a good teaspoon of that. I'm going to let all this stuff cook down for about 5 minutes, then we're going to add our stock. We already have a lot of water in the bottom here, coming off the leeks. And this is going to be fantastic. You guys just wait. Alright, that's been cooking for a while, so now I'm going to add some stock to this. You could use chicken stock would work well. I'm going to use a combination of vegetable stocks here. I have some of the roasted garlic base that I've showed you before, which I like to use. Now, this is better than bouillon. The garlic base is a lot of times one you have to buy online. I'm going to put a total of 8 cups of liquid into this. So I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon is a cup of this. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of the garlic base. And then I'll do the regular seasoned vegetable base. 2 tablespoons of that. So that's going to cover me for up to about 9 cups of water. I'll probably put a little bit less because we're going to add some milk to this later. So we're just going to add our water right in. Now if you have pre-made stock, that's great. These pastes are a great efficient way of using stock. They have all kinds of different flavors. There's 4 cups. There's 6 cups. And there's 8. Alright, so we're going to bring this to the boil and then reduce it to a simmer, and I'm going to leave it half covered for about an hour and a half. And I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done. Okay. So our soup has been cooking for about an hour. Potatoes are fork tender. It's reduced down a little bit. And now I'm going to puree this. You could use either your immersion blender or your regular blender. And I'll show you what it looks like once that's done. Alright, we have it all pureed. I just got done adding about a cup of milk into it. And that's going to give it a little bit of creaminess to it. It's all really thick and velvety just from the starch in the potatoes. And the milk will just lighten it up just a touch, make it taste a little bit smoother. I'm going to put my heat on the low just to keep it warm. And now I'm going to check it for seasoning. Remember, we only added a little bit of salt, but there's some salt in the bouillon. And the pepper was all in the infuser. So let's take a look here. I like that for salt. Maybe just a pinch more. And then for spice level, I'm just going to put in a little bit of white pepper actually. Just to keep that a little cleaner. Give it a good stir in. Alright. Be back in a second and we'll plate this up. Okay, all set and ready to serve up our leek and potato soup. I have some high quality butter here. A little bit of Kerrygold Irish butter, and I like to put just a dollop of it right in the bottom of my serving dish. And I'm going to take a good ladle full of this soup. Put it right over it. Garnish with some parsley. Give the edge of the plate a wipe here. Make us look all pretty. And here we go. Leek and potato soup. And as they eat it, they're going to stir in that little bit of butter. They're going to find that little extra lusciousness in there, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe for some more great videos that come out every Tuesday.